Hey everyone, Tech Steve here, and this is the Hisense A6H. The great thing about this TV is that it has Dolby Vision, Google Chromecast, plus you can hook it up with Alexa. So in this video, we're going to take a look and see if it's worth saving a little extra money versus spending a lot more on other televisions. And as a bonus, I'm going to compare this A6H to the last year model A6G. So sit back and relax, let's get into it. My overall first impression of televisions, I really like the design. The bezels are very thin. And on the bottom here, you have the Hisense logo. And if you press the button right below that, you get this menu so you can power it off and switch to the inputs. On the other side over here, it also has a Dolby Vision logo, but let's take a look at it from the side view. At the top here, it's a little bit thinner, but you have these components back here in the center, so it's not gonna be as thin. Also, this TV is a direct LED, so you have all these lights that go across the back of it, and it doesn't have local dimming, so there's no way to control the different zones. But once we do some tests, we'll see how good the contrast and all that performs. Now we're at the back of the TV. Let's take a closer look. First of all, you have these indentions right here, and I'm pretty sure that's on there to help make the TV more sturdier. In the center here, you have all the components. Behind here, there's some screw holes so you can mount it on the wall. There's also a power input right here, and we'll talk about the inputs in just a moment. Down here, you have the feet and you have this base on the television. You also have inputs for older equipment and newer equipment, so let's take a closer look. Now this TV has a reset button just in case anything locks up on you. You also have 3 HDMIs, and all these are 60 Hz HDMI 2.0 connections. You have 2 USB 2.0s and an antenna input, and that is the ATSC 2.0. You also have a digital output and a LAN connection for connecting it directly to your router. You're also going to find a headphone output and composite inputs. And with that composite input, you can go pull out these old devices from your closet, your attic, or your basement and enjoy those memories like never before. Before we get into the screen and all that good stuff, let's talk about the remote control in my experience. First of all, I will tell you the white ring right here made it very easy to find in the dark. I really enjoyed that part of it. I wish they had a light in this particular remote control, but unless you spend a lot of money and get a premium TVs, a light is just not an option because they're trying to save batteries. Also, the hotkeys work just fine. I was able to click on Netflix, it loaded right up. And one thing about this remote is that this button right here, it's like a secret menu. So I didn't know this, but I was looking in the settings to try to find how to get the best out of the PlayStation. And by hitting this button, I was able to find these secret menus, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And since this Hisense is powered by Google TV, I really think the best thing that most of these TVs have to offer is the voice command. So I can say something like, find Tech Steve on YouTube. And then it'll start searching, it'll open up the application, but let's see if it finds me just by using this remote. And there it is, pretty cool stuff. And you can get weather, you can control your different lights in your home, and I tested all that and it worked really good. And now we're gonna take a closer look at the screen, but what I'm gonna do is turn off all the lights in the room so you can see all the details and any flaws that this screen has to offer. So let's jump right into it. So first thing we're gonna do is play some HDR content. As you can see, I have it at 2000 nits, even though this television only supports less than 500. But let's see how it performs under some intense situations here. Now this is a Spear and Muscles disc and it's 4K. And I have everything set up at HDR, but this is not a HDR video, so we can see some more details. In my opinion, the white levels are coming in really good. So after testing this out in HDR, this TV looks really good. It's brighter than I expected, and it has a nits around 300 to 400, so I didn't expect it to be too bright. But let's take a look at some of the picture modes so you can see what the colors look like when you switch through them. So right now it's on HDR Vivid, and these are factory settings. It's not calibrated. We go to HDR Standard. Then we can go down here to HDR Savings Mode. Here's Gaming Mode. We have Sports, and it's gonna be a lot more cooler. But if you look at this picture on this TV, it looks really good. Personally, I like the more bluer look, but overall this TV looks really good. So this test is showing any kind of blooming around the images, plus showing the black levels of the backlight. And to be honest with you guys, I can see a little bit of light coming around the edges of the television. So it does have a little dirty screen effect, but overall it's pretty good. But the colors are amazing. in HDR. Look at this. It's bright, it's vivid, it's detailed, and it's pretty much everything you want. And one thing I know for sure is that you're going to be happy with the colors on this TV. Now, I did some other tests like contrast and things like that. I wasn't that impressed with the backlights, and it does have a lot of DSE, which is dirty screen effect. But if you can get past that point and look at the fact that you're saving money, I think you're going to be just fine. And here's the black dot test, and I can definitely tell that the white levels are really good. And here's that famous Starfield test. It looks decent. Again, I can see the backlights coming through. They actually look a little bit more gray than black. But again, this is a very inexpensive TV, so I don't expect too much. Now here we have a uniformity test, and I can see a little bit of a netting around the edges here, but overall it's not too bad, and a little bit more of the brightness here in the center, as you can see right there. So let's take a closer look at the motion. I turned everything off. All we need to do is go to Picture, Advanced Settings, and then we go down here to Motion Enhancements. So this is turned off with no motion at all. You can see these lines right here on the side, really jaggedy. We can go down Custom, and under here, we can manually control the jutters. Then let's go into Film Mode. You can see a lot of artifacts popping up right there. And then we have Standard Mode. I would say out of all these settings, Film to me looks the best, or if you manually adjust it. So next thing I want to show you is the different picture modes. This is all factory settings. The backlight levels are up to 100. And then we have standard mode. But let's say if we go to Vivid, it really didn't get that much brighter, but still decent. Then let's go to game setting. Gets warmer as well. Sports and filmmakers mode. And a lot of people like this setting because it basically makes the TV look like the way the movie was filmed, but you have to have a filmmaker mode signal for it to do its best. And what you're seeing here is a blooming test. You can see a little bit of halo around the images, but nothing major. But again, that backlight here at the bottom, it is shining through quite a bit. Now we're going to try the viewing angles. Right now we're in front of the television. Let's go over here to the side. So it washes out just a little bit, so I can tell it's a VA panel, but it's not that bad. Look at this. Overall, it's pretty good. But in my opinion, this TV has a really good picture. The colors are popping. You have all these different modes that you can go through to get even a better picture. Now, one thing that I want to talk about is audio. So a lot of people really like the built-in TV speakers. Me personally, I like sound bars or external audio system. You're looking at about 8 watts by 2, so don't expect the TV to really be that loud. But I'm going to show you now the sound settings, plus let you hear it, and it's going to sound better with headphones. So as you can see, the audio is not spectacular, but it's good enough to get you through a normal show. Now let's talk about gaming. First of all, I did some gaming on this television, and the unique thing about this TV is that not only has a gaming mode, but it will support VRR for 60 hertz television, which is really nice because this is the first one I've seen that has 60 hertz is able to do that. Now, the thing that you need to do on the PlayStation is go into the menu and switch a few things around. So let me show you what you need to do if you want to get the best experience using gaming on this television like I did. So let me show you a quick secret. Here we are in the PS5. I go into settings, go down to screen and video, and you can see that it's showing video information that this particular TV is showing 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, if I go down here and go to VRR and try to turn that on to automatic, it doesn't support VRR, but this TV does. So if we go down here to the HDR, click on that, and we're going to toggle this to always on. Watch what happens. The resolution drops down to 1080p after the TV blanks out right there. So let's go back up to the video information. Look at this, 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. So let's go ahead and hit that secret button on the remote control. Now, if we press this and then go down to where it says HDMI format and choose enhanced, let's go try this again. First of all, you notice that the auto low latency came on the TV. Now you see that it's showing that it's 4K at 60 frames per second. And now it is going to support the VRR at 60 frames, and it's going to support the HDR. So that little switch is really going to be something that you have to be aware of buying this TV. Now, while we're still on the PlayStation, if I hit the button again, this TV has what they call a gaming zone. Well, first of all, you have information. I can turn it on, and then this pops up on the screen. I can see the frames per second. I can see this in HDR. I can see the VRR, and I can see the auto low latency. So if I go and turn it off, and then down here, you can just change the location of it. Now, if we press on gaming zone and settings, now you can change the black levels, the white levels, and you can turn off the instant game response to on or off. So now I'll show you some settings that you can do in the PlayStation. Let's take a look at the input lag using this tester. So what we're going to do is just take this, put over the sensor right here. And we're getting 9.4 milliseconds in gaming mode. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Now, after doing some gaming on the A6H, I will tell you that it was a really good experience, especially being a 60 hertz television. But let's switch gears here and do a comparison between the new A6H and the older last year model A6G. Now, one thing that I did notice about the last year model A6G is that it has 4 HDMIs and it has ARC control for soundbars. Now, if we go over to the new model, they dropped one of the HDMIs, so you have 3 now, but now it has eARC, which is enhanced audio return channel, so you can now support uncompressed Dolby Atmos. And another thing that's different is the remote control. If you notice, this is the one from the A6G. It's a lot larger, it's got the full number pad. And then if you look at the new A6H, it's much smaller and compact. So they did make an improvement there. Plus, the new A6H also has a gaming mode, and the A6G doesn't have that particular feature. Now I'm going to show you guys a quick demo so you can see the comparison of the picture, and right after that, we'll talk about it. So which one did you think? In my opinion, the A6H is a really improvement over the last year model. I can just tell that the contrast was much better and the blues popped much better than the last year model. In addition to that, this has the Google TV. This one has the Android TV, which is last year model. But I think if you used to look at both televisions, even if the last year model was cheaper, I definitely would go with the newer model just because it looks better to me. So I hope you guys found this video very useful, and if you're interested in purchasing one or learning more, I'll leave all those links in the description below. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace! Tech Steve.